light is very strange. Hi, welcome to my live chat about my latest book, The Cove. I'll just hang on for a little minute until give people a chance to join in before I start talking too much. Yes, hopefully people are going to see that I am live. Okay. Hello. Now I can see you popping in. Hi. Nice to see you. I'm sorry, the light is very strange. It looks like my lens is dirty, but it's just the light. Welcome to my little chat about The Cove. Yay. I'll just wait a couple of minutes till, or not minutes, wait a little bit till some more people join in before I start everything. So what I'm going to do today is take you through The Cove, everything that's in the book. I'll show you all the samples and answer any questions that you might have about it as well. So thank you very much for popping in, and thank you so much to everybody who's already purchased The Cove and is started their trek around. It's really cool to see in my Facebook group all the lovely Cove patterns happening. So today is the day, the official release date, 16th of January, which it is in Australia. It may not be the 16th yet for you elsewhere, but today, this is book number 9, is out. Yay! So it is available in UK, I know this is backwards for you, I'm sorry, UK terms and US terms. Oh, hello! Ooh, yes, I have been seeing the weather. It even hit the news over here that it's very cold over there. I hope it warms up. Well, I hope the storms and the weather is calmer. Yay! Because I'm going to be in the US next week and I'm a little bit scared that the weather might stop me. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. But we're here to talk about The Cove. So The Cove is a large blanket pattern, but there are many different paths that you can take, and you can stop at different parts to create different things. Well, pretty similar things, but you stop sooner. It's made of different sections. I've designed the whole blanket, and then I, divided up the sections into what I thought would be cool with a coastal theme. And the very first section is, if you do the first 6 rounds, it is called Coastal Sunrise, and it's a coaster. Sorry, I'm just reading comments as well. I will get to, if you have any questions, just hold on for a second. I'll answer them a bit later on. So if you're not sure if you want to try the pattern, this is actually a free download in my shop, so you can see what all the help and what the pattern is like before you commit to the whole pattern. So the first 6 rounds make this, the Coastal Sunrise. So imagine sitting on the cliff tops, watching the sun rise over the ocean. Yay. Now, after you've done that, there are a couple of next sections. The next section is called Seashells. No, it's not. It's called Reef Ripples. And on this smaller blanket, I will show you. So in the centre, we have our Coastal Sunrise. And then these sections are the ripples. And then we have the shell collection. And then we have wickerwork. So that's 4 of the sections in the pattern. I will go through the book in a minute and show you more. But if you stop at the end of wickerwork, you have this beautiful heirloom baby blanket. So this one here was made for me by Kim up in Queensland, and it's made using Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply wool, the classic, and the colour is the biscuit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's one path you can choose. You can choose to stop there, or you can continue on. And if you continue on from the wickerwork section, which ends here, we have the Cabana Days section, which ends up here. So imagine sitting back, being waited on hand and foot, watching the waves from your cabana, having drinks and everything served to you. And then at the end, you can choose, at the end of the Cabana Days section, you can choose to go straight, take the shortcut and go straight to the Pebble Beach section, which is this bit here. Now it looks like they're crochet bobbles, I know, but they are not bobbles. I hate bobbles. These are fun and easy, done over 2 rounds, and you create that very bobbly effect, but they're not bobbles, so yay. So this is what I call the shortcut blanket, and it could be like a lap blanket, or would sit on the top of like a queen size bed. Let me try and hold it up for you. Oops. So this is the shortcut blanket. So that's another option you can take, or you can take the scenic route and make it even bigger. So the scenic route finishes at Cabana Days, and then instead of going to Pebble Beach, you make some smaller squares. I'll show you the smaller ones individually in a second. So you make these smaller squares and attach them all around the Cabana Days section, and then you can go on to Pebble Beach border. So the smaller squares, all the design features are taken from the main blanket. So, for example, this one here is the wicker, like the wicker section that was at the end of the baby blanket. This one uses a lot of the techniques in that one. This one here is from the kind of like the reef ripples section, so a ripply bit. This one here is called fans, and it's kind of from a couple of sections, a little bit at the start of wicker work and a little bit in Cabana Days, I think. I'll answer that question in a minute. And this one here, let's show you the front, is a combination of it's actually exactly the same as the centre, that coastal section in the centre, coastal sunrise, and then we have some shell, like the seashell section around that. So that's the 4 patterns that you use. And if you make all of that, if you have the same tension as me, same yarn, same hook, all that kind of stuff, this blanket will cover at the top of a king size bed and hang down the sides a little bit. I'll show you in a second in the actual book. So as I say, it's a big one. I can't show you the whole thing from here. I'm trying to, this light is messing with me. I'm trying to hold it so you can see it. There you go. But that's not all. So also in the book, there are some other versions of the pattern made for me by other people in different yarns. So this one here was made for me by Chris. This is actually as part of the testing process. Chris made the whole blanket for me testing. And this is using Drops Paris, yes, which is like a 10-ply Aran weight or worsted weight cotton. Chris had some extra yarn over, so in my other samples there are 3 rows of bobbles, but she had some extra yarn, so she did Pebble Beach, made it a bit wider, which is really easy to do once you've got the pattern. So as this is a heavier weight yarn, it's in between my shortcut and scenic roots in size, so it sits on the top of a king size bed. It's really heavy. Hold her up for you if I can. Oh. So this is the shortcut version, so there's no small squares made, but it's still very large as it's made in a heavier yarn. And then I also have in the book the yarn needs for this one, which was made for me by Kim. This is made in Fiddlesticks Wren, which is a 8-ply DK light worsted cotton. And Kim chose all the colours for this and made it for me, which is awesome. I will be sending these sample blankets back to the makers very soon. So Kim chose very beachy vibe colours, which is just perfect. And this one, even though it's the scenic route, is smaller than mine because Kim is a tighter crocheter than I am. It's probably similar in size to my shortcut blanket. So the size your blanket ends up being will be dependent on your yarn that you use, your crochet tension, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. So that's the samples that are in the book. Now let me show you the book. Okay, so as I said before, this is a UK version and a US version. It's available in both. I will tell you where to get it from. Hopefully there is a link. I tried this new thing. Hopefully there's a link somewhere that you can see that will take you to where you can purchase it from me. But I'll talk about that in a little bit later. I just want to take you through what's in the actual book. So it's 158 pages, 156 pages, I beg your pardon. And it has everything you need to make the Cove blanket. So I'll let you, let's just have a little look. So you've got your contents page, and then you have photos. So this here, these are all photos from the local area taken by my photographer. That one there is actually in Warrnambool. So if you know, I don't know if you would have seen the movie, excellent, Oddball, about the Maremma dog protecting the fairy penguins. That's that island. That's the island in Waterloo. Anyway, interesting. So it's all about picking your path. So you've got a lot of path type graphics and things through there. And then we have what to pack. So depending what you're making, we've got all the yarn needs for each section. So here we've got the coaster, what you would need to make the coaster. And this is Kim's baby blanket. And this is my shortcut blanket. So all the yarn needs, what the yarn I used, its weight, all its specifications. So if you need to swap yarn, you can do so easily. Then on this page we have Chris's blanket with all the yarn needs. And on this page, my scenic route blanket. That's, as you can see, on the king size bed. So is that. So you can see how it hangs over the sides. And then we have this beautiful spread, 2-page spread of Kim's beautiful colours. So all of the different Fiddlesticks Wren colours are listed and how much you need. And there's little symbols there, little colour symbols with a letter in them that tell you what round to use, like in the written pattern, what colour you need. And then we have this really cute map, which kind of explores, takes you around the cove. I know it's backwards, I'm sorry. So we start at coastal sunrise and work our way down the beach to watch the reef ripples and sit in the wicker chair and cabana days, and then we can either take the shortcut to Pebble Beach or take the scenic route around doing the small squares. So I've actually included, if you like that graphic, I've actually included it as a download you can get to print off and display if you want. Then we have a little thing about the paths to explore. So all of those different paths that I talked about, this page tells you what you need to do that's slightly different, like you might need to end something slightly different or whatever. And then we get into the patterns. So at the front of the book, if you know what you're doing, we've got the written patterns and the charts. So let's have a look at Coastal Sunrise, the first 6 rounds. So here's the written pattern. You can see there's, I don't know if you can see, there's little circles. That's the colours if you're doing Kim's colour version. And on the other page, we have the chart. There are also left-handed charts available as a download from inside the book as well. So if you're lefty, you're covered. And then we go on to the next section, which is reef ripples. Again, written pattern chart for each of the sections. Seashells. And the charts are beautiful, as always. Amy does a wonderful job with my charts. You've got cute pictures all the way through, little pathways. Written pattern. Look at this baby photo. It's so cute. Anyway, and the charts, as the pattern gets bigger and bigger, the charts are broken down so you can work, and I try and get them as much as I can on the same page as the written pattern so you can refer to them both. All right, so that's the written patterns, and then we go on to the scenic route. So the scenic route instructions tell you how many of the small squares you need to make, the joining instructions, how you lay them out, and then it goes on to the patterns for each of the small squares. There's the ripple square chart, pattern. So there's quite a few patterns, pattern pages. All right, so let me just show you. So these pages here, between here, that's all of the pattern pages, the written patterns and charts. And then the next part we have is the guidebook. Now this is the meatiest section of the book. So this is where if you need a little bit of extra help, if the written pattern, something's not quite gelling, you're not quite sure, then this guidebook has, for every single round, more instruction, a little bit more words, photos with things pointing so you know what to do. So all through the guidebook, you'll see these icons. So there's lighthouse, and then there's a signpost. Not sure if you can see that there, signpost. So the lighthouse, I'm giving you a hint or a tip that you can apply to your crochet no matter where, not just to this pattern. Whereas a signpost is just a little hint or tip specific to that round that you're doing right there. So, and let's have a look at the first bit. So this is the help for Coastal Sunrise. And at the very start up here you've got 2 QR codes, and they are to go directly to the video for this part of the pattern. So there's a right-handed video and then there's a mirrored version for the left-handers. And then I go through each round and I'll tell you this is what I mean, this is what you have to do. It's all more generic. You can't just make the pattern from this. You need the written pattern and the video, or you don't need the video. You need the written pattern in conjunction with this and you will succeed. Yes, so that is a few pages on there. And at the end of every round help, there's a picture of what it should look like at the end of each round as well. Yes, so each section has its own help. So let me just show you the guidebook all the way through. Okay, so that section there is all of the help. That's all of the extra photos with the needles and the extra words telling you where to put the stitches and things to help you succeed. So I've written this, so all the patterns are at the front, so if you know what you're doing you can just get stuck in. But if you need a bit of help every now and then, that guidebook is there with the videos as well. And I'm also always available for pattern support. I've got my Facebook group set up for that, about specifically for pattern support, or you can email me. So after the guidebook we have the glossary. So every stitch and technique used in the book, in the pattern, we've got the abbreviation, the full term, the full name terms, and a written description, as well as the chart symbol for that. So every stitch and technique is covered in there. So sometimes you might just need a reminder of, you know, how do you do that again? And I've just realised this is my print proof. That's why it's got scribbles on it, because I found a mistake, which has been fixed. It's not in your books. You're fine. And then we have some helpful links. So again, we've got some QR codes here. So the first one is you can download that map if you want to print it out and display it. We've got the left-hand versions of the charts you can download from there. The Cove taster patterns, so just the coaster on its own. The yarn needs for the small squares. So the yarn needs at the front are only for the complete blankets, each version. But I realise that some people might want to use, say, this square to make a pattern, a blanket. Like I would love somebody to make a blanket using just this pattern. I think it would look so cool. But anyway, so if you want to do something like that, the yarn needs are available as a download. And there's also, I do have Kim's little mini versions here as well. They're not there, the yarn needs for that aren't there because we didn't keep track of that because that was an overall thing. Yes, and the digital version of the book. So if you purchase the book, physical book, you can get the digital from here. You get it automatically if you purchase it from me. If you're buying it from elsewhere, then that's how you get it. Then I've got a lovely big thank you, because this did not happen alone. And then we had a little bit about me and my other books, and that's about it. So I'm just going to read some of these comments because I've just been talking. Is the Cove my most adventurous cowl so far, or is it Nimue? Look, I have done 1 or 2 cowls every year since 2012. They're all different in their own way. I mean, I've run them all differently. No two have been the same. Sorry, I'm just getting reminders there. I'm just going to dismiss. I enjoyed them all for different reasons. Nimue was probably designed quicker, and it came together quicker. The Cove I started designing at the end of 2022, and it's been the most difficult to finish, just because a million reasons that I don't need to go into, but it's here now. So the Cove has probably been the most difficult to finish, but not the actual designing of the pattern. That was not difficult. That's the fun bit. That was all good. I hope that answers that a little bit, Sally. Mandy, you're loving it on to part 4. Excellent. Yay. And Mandy says the guidebook has been invaluable. You're in the US, having to translate gets you, so having the guidebook is awesome. Using Bendigo Classic rather than cotton. Any disadvantages of using wool over cotton? No. You can use whatever you like. It's going to work. So this baby blanket was made in wool, and this is made in cotton. It's just you have a different feel to your end product, but the pattern will absolutely work in cotton or wool. It's fine. It's just personal choice. I mean, yarn choice is always a personal choice. You've got budget considerations, you've got your ethical beliefs about different fibres, you've got, you know, environmental impacts of different fibres, there's availability of where you are. There's so many factors that go into choosing a yarn. You can choose any yarn, and the yarn information that I provide in here, let me tell you. So for the shortcut blanket, So I use Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply cotton, which has 485 metres per 200 grams, which means there are 2.425 metres per gram. So if you work out the metres per gram of the yarn you want to use, and if it's comparable to that, you can just use my calculations. If it's, you know, less or more, you're going to need less or more yarn. I can't tell you exactly because how long is a piece of string and your crochet tension is different to mine, that kind of thing. But it's a good starting point. So you know that if you have less metres per gram than what my yarn is, you're going to need more. If you have more metres per gram than mine, you're going to need less. That's kind of how that works. I hope that helps that question. And one thing I wanted to, words, it's the afternoon. Difficulty. So this, I would say, if you are aware of Nimue, I would say this is easier than Nimue. I mean, the level of support is exactly the same. There's round by round help, there's video, there's all that kind of stuff. But the techniques that I used in here are not as complex as some of the things that I did in Nimue. Sure, there may be some stuff that's new to you, but basically you use the small stitch, you know, double crochet UK, single crochet US, regular stitch, treble UK WS, or a double treble UK or a triple US. So if you know those 3 stitches, you'll be able to do it, because all it is mixing those up, you know, putting more in one stitch or gathering some together or doing a front post or a back post. And as I say, the support is all in there so that you can do it. So yeah, I think so. And I think there was someone posted in my Facebook group who'd only ever done chains and the top of a tea towel or something, and has done the first 2 parts beautifully. So I think if you're willing to have a go and take your time, then I think you're an adventurous beginner. I think you'd be fine. So there you go, the code. So where can you get it? How can you get it? All right. It's available as a book and digital. So if you, no matter where you are in the world, if you just want a digital version, head to my shop. Hopefully there's a link somewhere that you can see. Maybe not. If not, I'll pop it in the comment or in the post later on anyway, when I post this to my page. You can buy it from me direct, straight away. If you want the book, then you need to be in, well, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, I can post it directly to you. I have them sitting all over there and my packing materials, so I will post it directly to you through my shop. Easy. But if you're elsewhere, America, UK, anywhere else in the world, you can get it on places like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, online book retailers. So if you just search in your country for an online book retailer and then key in the Cove Shelley Husband Crochet, you should find it. And the cool thing is, rather than having to come from Australia, which takes a lot of time and a lot of money, ordering from those sites means there's print-on-demand facilities over there. So you place an order, it's usually printed like the next day and sent to you the next day from where you are. So there's print facilities all around the world. So in the UK, in the US, and Europe, all over the place. So you can still get it, no matter where you are. You just can't get it direct from me. I hope that explains that. Always a common question that I get. And that's about all of the things that I wanted to make sure I spoke about. Does anybody have any other questions that I can answer about it while I'm here? No? It's all very exciting to have book number 9 out. Yes, it's been a journey, but now that this is done and out, I'm going to start working on book number 10, which will be out in July this year, and starting to head around. I'm going to be traveling a lot around Australia and beyond this year, teaching and visiting places. So hopefully I will see some of you around, either working on this or something else, in workshops and other events around the place. If you want to stay in touch with what I'm up to, signing up for my newsletters is the best way to do it, because I always mention everything in my newsletters, and social media will often miss. No one sees what everybody posts anymore. It's just algorithms and stuff. So your inbox is the best place to make sure that you hear my information. So I'll add the link to sign up for my newsletters if you don't already get it when I post this on my page. Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's about enough of me rabbiting on. Thank you very much for all of your wonderful support and encouragement to get this out. and for posting all your progress and stuff. I always love to see what you make. So if you do choose to make the Cove, please share it in my Facebook group, on Instagram, tag me at Spin Cushions, or by email. You don't have to do it publicly. I don't care. I love getting emails with people showing me their projects. I love to see what you do. And I hope you enjoy your trek around the Cove if you choose to do it. And I will see you soon, hopefully. Thank you. Bye.